Welcome back. Just going to go over a couple examples now of nth roots. We'll do without calculator first, and then we'll try some with calculator. So if we're given a problem 4 to the 5 halves, right, we can rewrite that without using a calculator now as the square root of 4 raised to the 5th, right? Because we have 2 in the denominator of the exponent, so that becomes the square root of 4 raised to the 5th. And that's simply 2 raised to the 5th, which ends up being 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. Next problem, 9 to the negative 1/2. Well, this can be rewritten as 1 over 9, but it's the square root of 9. So we end up with 1 over 3. Okay? As we keep moving along, we have 81 to the 3/4. Well, 81 to the 3/4 can be rewritten as the 4th root of 81, and then once we do that, we raise it to the 3rd. Okay? The 4th root of 81, we're looking for a number. When we multiply it by itself 4 times, we get 81. That number ends up being 3. But remember that we still have the 3rd power after we evaluate that 4th root. And so we now have 3 to the 3rd, which is equal to 27. All right? And last example without a calculator, 1 to the 7 over 8. This can be rewritten as the 8th root of 1, and then at the end we raise it to the 7th. Well, the 8th root of 1 is just 1, and 1 raised to the 7th is 1. So the answer is 1. Okay, now for the with calculator stuff, we're going to, now it all depends on which calculator you have now, but we're going to evaluate the nth roots using the calculator exponent buttons. Just number 5, and then for an x to the y button, you have to be in scientific mode for this. Scientific. That's a C mode. Right? And so there's a button, x to the y. And then I'm going to do, for my exponent, I'm going to do after I hit x to the y, I do parentheses, 1 division symbol, 4, close parentheses, and I hit enter. Okay? So this is going to be an open parentheses, and then the number 1, and then a division symbol, and then a 4, and then a close parentheses, and then enter. Right? The answer here ends up being 5. Okay? What else do we have here? 64 with the calculator. I would do 6 and then 4 button, right? And then I'm doing x to the y. Now n is 6 here, right? So what do I put in? I put in open parentheses, and then the number 1, and then a division symbol, and then a 6, and then a closed parentheses. All right, so let me just do that real quick. 64, x to the y, open parentheses, 1, division symbol, 6, close, enter. The answer equals 2. All right, 2 more like this. For negative 64, I would type in 6 and then 4 and then negate that, right? There's a plus minus button on my calculator in Windows. I believe this is Windows 10. That will make it negative. Then we do our x to the y button, and we just do 1 and then division symbol 3, and then we can evaluate it that way. I'll try it without the parentheses and see if I get it. I might need to insert parentheses here. So this is 6, 4, and I make it negative, then x to the y, 1 over 4 equals, well, I shouldn't do 4 because it's n is 3. So let me just reevaluate that again. 64, make it negative, and then x to the y, open parentheses, 1, division symbol 3, close the parentheses, and then I'm looking for an enter button, and the output I get there is negative 4. So what's interesting about that is when you do an nth root that's odd, right, I get negative 4. And so let's do one more example now. Let's do 243 as our A, right? And I'm going to do an x to the y, and then open parentheses, and then 1, and then division symbol 5, close parentheses, right? So that's going to be, our n is 5 this time, so I do 243, x to the y, open parentheses, 1, division symbol 5, close parentheses, enter. And I get this time 3, right? So the fifth root of 243 is 3 using a calculator, right? Which we would expect if we did 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, we would get 243. Thank you for watching.